In this video, we sculpt an anglerfish that failed. Hello everybody, I'm Tony and I sculpt. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, thank you. I sculpted an anglerfish. If you don't know what an anglerfish is, they're fish that are found at deep depths of the ocean and they swim in the darkness, but they have this thing that hangs off their head and they use bioluminescence to attract their prey. There's a lot of different species of these kinds of fish, but more or less they have big mouths, little fins, and tiny tails. My girlfriend, she convinced me to enter an art exhibit down here at our local city hall. And what I was gonna do was I was gonna kill two birds with one stone, create the sculpture for the exhibit, and then use that sculpture to create this video. I had grand plans. Now, you're asking me, well, Tony, how did it fail? Well, let me tell you something. Once I show you the build video, I'll explain afterwards. Now, this isn't a video that I'm gonna show old footage from like my past videos. This one, I'm actually gonna show you how I create it, how I build it, and all that jazz. So sit back, relax, grab your favorite snack, and peep this. And here's the sculpture. Are you wondering, Tony, why is it all black? How come you didn't give it color? Why is it so plain looking? Let me explain. After I was done sculpting it, I was going to use color changing paint to give it some pizzazz, but I made a rookie mistake. Now, I've been building models for 30 years, and anytime prior to applying color, I've always spray painted it flat black. This time, I screwed up. Because I didn't have any flat black, I settled with using gloss black, which was a big no-no, and I mean a big one. My main problem was it took 2 weeks, literally 2 weeks to cure. The biggest problem I had was after I painted it, I had a deadline because you had to sculpt the project, take pictures, and submit it. And because of the paint being completely tacky, I mean super tacky, I couldn't apply or reapply flat black and then use my color changing paints. I had no choice. I left it the way it was, I took the pictures, and I submitted it. The sculpture is going to be on display for nearly 2 months. So my only choice that I had was I kept it the gloss black and I applied gold paint at its little thing here that attracts its food. My plan is once the exhibit's over, I'm going to take it back home. That's if it doesn't sell. Part of the recommendations for the submission is they want you to put a price tag on it, so that when it's on display, it could possibly sell. So if it doesn't sell, I want to bring it back home, reapply it with flat black, and then repaint it with my color changing paints that I bought. We'll see what happens. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with it. It's dry now, like you can feel it and touch it. Like I said, it took 2 weeks. I couldn't even barely breathe on it because it was so tacky. If you like what you saw, like, subscribe, hit that bell so that it'll let you know my future stuff that's gonna drop. I appreciate everyone showing me love on the channel. I got plenty more projects to do in the future. Now I do have one more project that I'm gonna revise, but I'll be showing the process in real time. Thank you very much for watching. And like I always say, if you want to clay with Tony. Bye.